So why is the Big Ten Conference still flirting with the idea of adding a 10th conference game in their football schedule? Because they are. Why is that? Is it because they're thinking they might expand again? Welcome to episode 114 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Share the video with your family and friends and smash that like button if you like our content. Now hang with me here. The Big Ten is still flirting with adding a 10th conference football game. Ask yourself why. Why could that be? We'll get back to that important question because that's what this episode is all about. But hang with me here. First of all, we have an article back on August 19th. Gene Smith, Big Ten in talks to eliminate divisions, will schedule future conference games less than a year in advance. Okay, this is from the 11 Warriors. There's plenty of articles out there in August and September. We're just going to be hitting on two of them. And then we got some new information to share with you today that came out a couple of days ago. I'm not going to read the whole article here. I'm going to put a link in the description box below the video and you can read the article if you want. But basically, it's Gene Smith talking about way back in August. And I'll go back to the article. One factor that still has to be determined before future schedules are set is whether or not the Big Ten will continue to have divisions. Smith says the conference has had discussions about eliminating divisions, which he is in favor of. A final decision of the divisions in the conference has not been made, but Smith expects those conversations to resume now the Big Ten has finalized its new TV deal. Remember these discussions back in August? Well, they haven't yet decided on the divisions, eliminate them or not, and they haven't decided how many games they're going to have. Are they going to stay with their 9 conference games? Now, we go further into this article. Smith believes a divisionless structure will work best for scheduling purposes when the Big Ten, when USC and UCLA join the conference in 2024. While eliminating divisions, it would also mean the teams with the 2 best records across the entire conference would play in the Big Ten championship game each year. As for the possibility of eliminating divisions, it could lead to Ohio State and Michigan playing 2 weeks in a row with the rematch in the Big Ten championship game. Smith said he doesn't think that should deter the conference from making a change that he thinks will be better for the Big Ten as whole. We skip down 2 paragraphs and here it is. It's also possible, Smith said, that the Big Ten could eventually increase its conference game schedule from 9 games to 10 games. Although Smith said he would prefer a decrease to 8 conference games, that is no longer an option because of the inventory that has been promised to Fox, CBS, NBC, and Peacock in the new TV deal. But he believes the Big Ten will have conversations about the possibility of a 10-game conference schedule. We'll probably talk about 10 again, Smith said. That always been talked about. There's a couple of ADs, they want to go to 10. They will talk about it, but no, we haven't made that decision. Now you're probably saying, Greg, this is old news. This is back in August. You are correct. Hang with me here. We go to another article. This was in the Gopher Hole. This was an article written by Andy Greeter of the St. Paul Pioneer Press, an outstanding columnist who writes about college football. This was back in September 24th. Mark Coyle is headed to Chicago after Saturday's game. This was Minnesota versus Michigan State to meet with fellow Big Ten athletic directors to determine football schedules for the 2023 season. Coyle said on KFXN FM pregame show that a few of the subjects to be figured out include the future of divisions and whether they keep the 9-game conference schedule. Again, now this was in September. It's not about going to possibly 8 conference games. It's about going to possibly 10. Now, what's the new information? Here we go. just December 9th, Andy Greeter, St. Paul Pioneer Press, 10 games. This is on his Twitter account. University of Minnesota is preparing for the Big Ten to possibly go to 10 conference football games in the next few years. Language for incentives in PJ Fleck's new contract reveals option for the schedule to stay at the current 9-game slate or grow to 10. If you read the article, go to the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Andy Greeter writes it, a beautiful article, and it talks about the incentive plans that PJ Fleck has in this new contract of his that goes on for the next 7 years. And it talks about how it would change if the Big Ten goes to 10 conference games. Again, this is Mark Coyle writing it into PJ Fleck's contract, in his new contract. A contract that was done just basically a month ago and it was announced today. So what is it with the continuous flirtations of the Big Ten expanding to 10 conference games? What is the motivation? We know that one of the motivations to go into divisionless conference is because these athletic directors actually want their schools in the Big Ten to play each other more often than they do now. That's one of the reasons. The other reason, of course, is more of a competitive balance. The Big Ten East has been winning all the Big Ten championship games. So they wanted to go divisionless for equity, for competitive sake, and for the schools to play each other more often. But doesn't going divisionless in the future take care of playing each other more often? The issue is settled. Teams will. If they go to 3, if the Big Ten goes to 3 permanent rivals with 16 schools, they will play each other at least once every 2 years. And if there's less than 3 permanent rivals, it will be more than once every 2 years outside of your permanent rival teams, your rival games. So again, I ask you, what's the incentive for the Big Ten to keep flirting with the idea to the point where they're putting in their coaches' contracts to go to 10 conference games? Is it the TV deal? No, well, it's been signed already. They have enough inventory for the current TV deal. It's all set. NBC, CBS, Fox, BTN, Peacock gets their 8 games, streaming games. It's set, everybody. So again, why is this being started to be put in head coaches' contracts? I only can come up with one reason why. Potential more further Big Ten expansion. That's the only conclusion. That's the driving incentive to go to 10 games, because remember, when they expand, when the Big Ten expands again, and they will, it was never the goal of the Kevin Warren to keep the Big Ten at 16 schools with only 2 out on the Pacific Coast. The only reason why they would go to 10 conference games is because of more expansion, because they want to keep playing each other more often. I want you to do me all a favor. First of all, put your comments down in the comment section below the video and let me know your thoughts on this. What is the driving incentive to keep talking about going to 10 conference games, especially when SEC is still at 8 games, conference games? But I want you to do me all a favor. Investigate this. Go look at your coach's new contract. Is there, because these contracts are always being renewed with more incentives for these coaches, current coaches in the Big Ten and elsewhere. Look to see in the Big Ten especially, if your coach of your school in their new extended contract or their new contract, is there a clause, an incentive clause written in for 9 conference games? Or if Big Ten goes to 10 conference games like it is in the PJ Fleck contract? Do some investigations. Join me in the next live show Sunday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Or put in the comments section below this video here on episode 114. This is so highly peculiar. Big Ten still flirting August, September, and now it's being written in current and new head coaches' contracts in the Big Ten. At least it was in PJ Fleck's. The possibility of the Big Ten going to 10 conference games, football conference games. I can only see one motivation of that. Big Ten still has the expansion door kicked open when it comes to further expansion of the conference in the next few years. Let me know your thoughts. We're going to be covering this story. Stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner. But again, from all of us at Peek Around the Corner to all of you, until next time, please, you all take care of each other. Thank you so very much.